This is page 15 of the ukulele pages, and I'm giving you a little different view here in the background. This is a light I just put up, so if I stand right under it, it looks like I have a hat on. Anyway, we're on page 15, and this starts with the D7 chord, which shows you first of all what the pitches would be if you made a scale. The scale would be, if we were in the key of G, the scale would be, let's see, it would be G, or so that's a G scale. And so the D7 chord is, the D is the fifth note of the G scale. So if you start on that note, you're playing a D scale in the key of G. Once again, notice that seventh note sounds funny, but that's because we're going to use it in the D7 chord. So a D7, a basic triad would be D, F sharp, A, and you add the C for the 7, and so we revoice that. Pretty much we just put the A down on the bottom here. There's another way to do that. A simpler D7 actually is like that with, let's see, I always have trouble showing these, but second finger on the fourth string, which is A, C, F sharp, third finger, and then A open, first string. But you notice that doesn't have a D in it. So a better way to do it is to, if you can, to bar. Now I mentioned that on the page there underneath line 1. A bar, B-A-R, or I think the French word is B-A-R-R-E, barre maybe. But it means to lay the finger across the fret, in this case the second fret, and then put down maybe your second finger. Some people put their third finger down instead. So you can kind of have both fingers on the bar. And a bar, if I write any more pages to this, that'll be one of the things we'll get into, how to do the bar. So D7. So in the next song, which is Hush Little Baby, which everybody knows, I would suggest doing a thumb brush stroke. So you play your G chord, thumb brush, then go to the D7, same thing. You can make it a little more interesting by alternating the bass notes. So you can go fourth string, third string, fourth string, third string, fourth string, third string, fourth string, third string. Alternating bass notes. So the tune should sound like this. So, and I'm going to use my my index and middle fingers on some of these. So I'll go something like, let's see, 1, 2, and 3, 4. This is almost the same. there's the tune. You can play the chords along with it, or you can get together with a friend and you can trade off. You can sing, and then you can interject with an instrumental. All right. Then finally we get to number 3, which is This Land Is Your Land, again, because we did it back on page 12, but we did it in a different key, a different scale. We did it in the scale of C, so we start on, this land is your land, this land is my land. That was page 12. So on this page, we're doing it in the key of G, the scale of G. And so on. On this one, as on page 12, you end when you get to the fine, whichever time you want. So the nice thing about this song, I guess it's a nice thing, could be a boring thing too, but the verse and the chorus are the same tune, you know. So let's see. I will play the tune just so you can compare what you're doing to what I'm doing. And I'm just going to play it one time. So I'm going to stop when it says fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. 2, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, stop. Now a couple of things I realized is going through that is that one is that you go up to the C, C, and the next note is G. So instead of picking up your third finger and moving it over, use your second finger. When you get to the second line, those first 3 notes there are the notes of a G chord. So you can finger a G chord there, be ready for them, and let them ring. There's another place in here, the third line, C, C, G again. So C, third finger, so G with the second finger right next to it. And down on the bottom line, A's, and then there's an F sharp, and there's a D, so if you're doing the F sharp with your second finger, you can do the D with your first finger. All right, so now I'll play the chords and you play the melody. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. And that's probably as good a song as any to end with. So go and practice, and maybe I'll see you again.